Hi guys, and welcome back to the Crochet Tour YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing another episode of Tor Tries, and in this episode I'm going to be showcasing a free pattern that I've recently done. So the pattern I'm going to be talking about is this one, which is this little Grim Reaper, and this is perfect for Halloween, so I thought I'd try and get this video out before Halloween so that you've still got time to make this. But yeah, if you're interested in finding out more about the pattern, then keep watching. So as I mentioned, the pattern is available for free and it's available on Ravelry, so I'll put the link in the description below if you want to download the pattern yourself. In terms of what crochet terminology is used, it's actually a UK pattern, so it uses UK terminology, which is different to my patterns. I tend to use US terminology, even though I am English. I just find US terminology a bit better to understand, and I feel like, you know, a single crochet makes more sense in my head than the UK equivalent, which is the double crochet. But anyway, if you're used to US terminology like I am as well, you'll just have to kind of translate it in your head as you're doing the pattern, but it's not too complicated because there aren't too many stitches used. So the main one is just your standard double crochet, which is a single crochet in US terminology, and then there's a few other stitches used such as slip stitches and crab stitch as well, but thankfully she links a video tutorial to crab stitch if you're not sure how to do that, so that's really helpful to refresh your memory if, you know, you've never done it before, or maybe you've done it a long time ago and you can't remember how to do it. So the stitches are fairly simple and I would consider this to be an easy pattern. In terms of the pattern designer, they're called Akabeko Botan, and if you go onto their Ravelry page, they do have a few other designs as well, and a couple of other Halloween-y ones actually as well, which I might have a go at and maybe show you in another video. But yeah, it seems like all of their patterns are free, and they do say in their description that they want to keep their patterns free, but if you want to like donate to a charity in lieu of like paying for the pattern, you can do that. So I think that's a really nice idea that they include that on their Ravelry page. But yeah, a few other patterns, maybe 10 or 20 other, and they last posted in September as well, so it seems like they are still releasing patterns. So just to give you another view of what I've made then, so this is my little Grim Reaper. What I used to make this was DK yarn, a 3mm crochet hook, and I think in the pattern she uses 3.5, but just go with whatever you want. I prefer to have not many gaps in my work, so I went with a 3mm crochet hook. And then you're also going to need a cocktail stick or something like that for the I can't remember what this is called, but like the handle of this part, but you could crochet it if you really needed to, and I'm sure it would still work, albeit it might be a little bit floppy, so you probably do want something that's a bit more sturdy to use for this handle. And then another thing that I did, and which she recommends you do in the pattern, is to put a little circle of cardboard inside the body to kind of keep it flat at the bottom and make sure that it does actually stand up. So yeah, if you've got some spare cardboard lying around, that will be helpful to stabilize this a bit, but again, it does work without it. It just might not stand up as well as you would hope. And in terms of how long this took me, I would say it took up to 10 hours. I didn't like track it to the minute, but it was a fairly quick one to make, especially due to obviously the size. It's quite small, albeit I did use a smaller weight of yarn than I would normally use, so that added a bit of extra time on. So just to wrap it up then, what I really liked about the pattern was that it was really easy to follow. I think a sort of beginner level probably could have followed it. And then the other things I liked was that you didn't have to do any face details, because obviously there's actually no face in this, which is really helpful because face details are something that I always struggle with, and it always takes me ages to like embroider the eyes properly and things like that. So that was appreciated, not having to spend time doing that. And I think that means that you're very likely, if you do this pattern, to get something that looks pretty much exactly like what the pattern designer managed to create, because there's none of that sort of your own sort of judgment that you have to do in this pattern. It's all just very prescriptive and following exactly what the designer did. And then I also like that it does actually stand up by itself as well, so that means it's really easy to display on a mantelpiece or wherever you'd want to put this up as a Halloween decoration. So yeah, there was nothing that I didn't like about the pattern. It was, like I say, really well written. There were no issues with following the instructions, and it was all very clear. So I would 100% recommend that you check out this pattern if you're looking for a free Halloween pattern to do. And that will be it for this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!